Just reflecting on the speakers beforehand, Jim gave us a real introduction to the moral reasons for well-being, well-being in general, well-being in the workplace, and then on to Roddy. Roddy gave us the government perspective. Didn't really cheer me up knowing that I'm going to have a chronic condition by the age of 50, and I'm currently on a suboptimal curve. Which is something I'll need to let my wife know tonight when I go home. But my role here today is to give you an organisational perspective of workplace wellbeing, and how we, in an organisation, whatever our size, our industry sector, that we shouldn't see wellbeing as a standalone bolt-on to somebody's role, but it's a fundamental to delivering successful business outcomes for the business as a whole. Heineken UK is a business of roughly 2,000 people. We have 1,000 people in production, so we brew beer and cider. We have also a pub business. We're the third largest pub business in the UK. And we also have field-based staff, sale-based staff, and obviously our back office functions as well. And like most successful business and organisations, we have a strategic plan. We have a well-designed infographic which details what we're going to do and our journey. We have a vision and mission statement with a wonderfully, cleverly designed strapline. And then we've got a set of goals which we set our organisation for the next number of years. And finally, we have a set of enablers which will help the business deliver them goals. You'll reflect back and see them all in your own businesses, hopefully. And for Heineken UK, our aim for the next 3 years is to be Britain's best pub, cider and beer company. We'll focus on the word best a little bit later on. But as their health, safety and well-being manager, I'm glad to say that safety is identified as one of our key enablers. Safety is our number one priority at Heineken. Whether you're based in our breweries, whether you're based in your car, driving from account to account to account, or you're actually based supporting one of our pub businesses, safety is our number one priority. Our business shouts safety, but has a tendency to whisper well-being. Safety as an industry has been going for quite a while. If my maths serves me correct, the Health and Safety and Work Act next year will be 45 years old. The nature of work and the work environment, I hope we all agree, has changed quite significantly over that time. And hopefully our view of safety has evolved to support the idea of a modern workplace. If we think back to what traditionally health and safety was, a grey-haired man, a hard hat, a high-vis jacket and a clipboard, none of which I possess today, which is not that I possess, none of which I've brought with me today. So in the last 45 years we've seen quite a change in the safety environment. We had a period where safety was a standalone issue. We then had a period where it was health, safety and security, because the safety manager didn't do enough. And then coming into the 90s, we went through a period of health, safety and environment, because again, the health and safety manager didn't have enough to do. But in terms of our profession today, you can see it evolving to support the modern workplace. The profession itself is evolving to get away from the grey-haired professional to handsome, charming, funny Irish people taking up the role. But the actual profession is moving towards a more holistic approach to safety and health. We're seeing the profession move towards health, safety and well-being, the three main parts of my job title. Safety will always be the traditional leader of that trilogy. Then with a focus on occupational health and how that can support return to work as outlined by Roddy in the previous presentation. But well-being then focuses on the proactive approach that we can help support, inform and promote positive lifestyle choices for members of staff. But not just within our business. Because if we take a truly holistic approach to well-being, I have the chance to influence 2,000 lives within Heineken. However, if I can bring about one intervention that one member of our team takes back to their family, they can influence another 4 people. And if that individual takes it back into the community, that can influence more people. Because when we talk about our well-being strategy, we don't talk about just individually personal well-being, the health, physical health, mental health, social health. We talk about it as team and organisational health, but also how we can leverage that and support the communities in which we operate. So if we look specifically at safety, there's 3 key aspects to delivering a safe workplace. The safety triangle, for the want of a better illustration. We call it knowledge, skills, and behaviours. Knowledge itself is the easy bit. That's giving the training from induction through to task-based training, risk assessments, policies, procedures, processes. The nice, fluffy stuff to do with my role. And then if we look at the skills is when the individual takes that knowledge back and applies it in the workplace. They start to develop their own set of skills based on the knowledge that we have provided them. However, the most difficult bit around that is behaviour. How do you drive the right behaviours? How do you drive the safe behaviours in conjunction with the knowledge, skills that helps deliver a safe environment? Because if you don't get any one of the 3, what do we have? Accidents. So there has been some progress into tackling workplace behaviours. We have the behaviour-based safety movement, which is the application of the psychology of behaviour change management to safety. Without going into any specific details, it's about the antecedents to the behaviour, the things that go on before the behaviour takes place, your knowledge and skills. They're less likely to impair behaviour change over the long term than the consequences. So the consequent management is important. And to give you a quick example is if you think for driving your car. Please put up your hand if anybody here's ever sped before. Yeah. And if we look at the consequences for that, is that you're potential at risk of a fine, which is a negative consequent management that the government has applied to induce behaviour change. However, if as an organisation, your organisation was to reward good driving, so not just the speed you're doing, but the way you drive, that will engarner longer term behaviour change. So behaviour safety has actually did that, and it has made great strides in terms of improving safety performances within an organisation. But it can't do it by itself. Because if we look at it in a very human level, what drives our behaviours? Our behaviours are driven by the decisions made based on the circumstances that present themselves in front of us. And what influences our decisions? How we think physically, how we feel mentally. So basically, if we call our physical health, our mental health and our social health help drive our behaviours, those behaviours help drive safety performance, we can actually combine physical health, mental health and social health under the term well-being and say that well-being actually drives safety performance. And to give you a really good example, We recently had a lost time accident at one of our breweries. An individual was walking over a walkway over a piece of equipment. It was coming down a set of steps, and just prior to got to the bottom of the set of steps, they fell. An injury to the ankle. And as part of the normal accident investigation process, the safety manager does what's called root cause analysis. What caused the fall? So you speak to the individual concerned, you ask them were they running the handrail, were they carrying anything, was there any contamination on the steps, were they wearing the right footwear, etc., etc. So usually at that stage, within most organisations, they will get to a conclusion, which will be the employee contributed to their own negligence, that caused the fall themselves. They weren't paying attention. Okay. However, if we apply the well-being question, so why were you not paying attention? Is there anything going on? And if we go back to Roddy's point of the biopsychosocial model, let's look at the individual holistically. Not just the actions that resulted in the incident, but what actually underpins that. We found out by asking the simple question, is everything okay? Turned out that the individual concerned was having issues with one of their children in relation to school. That has resulted in some deterioration of the relationship with their partner. He wasn't sleeping well. He wasn't concentrating. And we were able to define that as individual external circumstances contributed to that accident. And what we were able then to do is put into process our support mechanism as a business. Through your EAP provider, you got access to counselling, got to have a really good conversation, with our counsellor. I actually did some relationship counselling as well for him and his partner. And that was a fantastic, fantastic good news story for us as a business. Actually taking, which was an accident, which organisations don't like to happen because it's usually on a report somewhere, but taking that and taking the holistic approach to it, understanding what underpinned that accident, and actually putting something in place to tackle it. The issue was that although we promote our support quite well throughout Heineken, in our breweries we're working with a demographic of mainly males, 50 to 55 years of age, people less likely to engage in their well-being, never mind engage in things like counselling and speaking to each other. So based on that action and investigation, we were able then to proactively promote our EAP services to the breweries, the population in questions. We actually, part of our site safety days, we actually did a 45-minute session on mental well-being. 250 men aged 50 to 55 talking about their mental health, which is absolutely fantastic, but it doesn't end there. We actually then seen a 1% increase in the use of our EAP provision in the first quarter of this year. So actually taking that proactive, preventative approach to well-being, tying it into our safety agenda, helps us deliver successful outcomes for our staff. So safety itself is not standalone, that well-being underpins it. Well-being is a key focus on a number of key business outcomes. I think we'll hear about engagement shortly, performance management, attendance, attraction and retention of staff. So as an organisation, you just can't speak about well-being in a silo by itself. It underpins all good business. If you have happy, healthy people, you have safe people. If you have happy people, you have healthy, happy teams. Healthy, happy teams mean healthy organisations. And healthy organisations are profitable organisations. So even if you have a chief financial officer who does not get well-being, he does not get the fluffy stuff that well-being can be attributed to sometimes, it is potential able to demonstrate that good, financially sound businesses should have well-being at the heart of what they do. It shouldn't be a standalone strategy by itself delivered by one person within the organisation. It is a collective, holistical approach to the whole person, the biopsychosocial model, physical health, mental health, social health, but also the whole system. And the whole system is at the heart of everything of the organisation, from your leadership, through your line manager capability, through your individual workforce, engagement, performance, policies, procedures, the environment that you work in. These are all key to delivering a successful well-being approach as an organisation, but more importantly, a successful and sustainable business. As I said at the start, our 3-year strategy at Heineken is to be the best pub, cider and beer business. We may be the biggest, but it's been the best for our staff, our colleagues, their families and the communities that we operate in. That's what we strive for, and that's what's in my performance plan for the next 3 years. Thank you very much, and I hope I've tried to get across how fundamental well-being is to an organisation, how it underpins various aspects, specifically safety. And hopefully, as we go through the rest of the day, you'll get some individual learnings to take back and share within your own organisations, because as HR people, as safety people, as reward people, you don't have to do it yourself. You know, there's power in the collective. It's up to us here today to take that back to our organisations and help drive that through. Okay, thank you very much.